NFL roster cuts 2025. Everything should be settled in, besides, a tweak here and there. So let's stroll through this list. Only teams we really worried about are the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans. I'm just going to do a quick stroll and then we're going to get to what we really want to get to. That is the Cowboys. That's their cut list. We're going to stroll it down. New York Giants. If y'all quick on a twitch, y'all be able to get a good glance. And there we go. The Philadelphia Eagles. Come to mind, John Mechie III. Remember, he was traded. So he will be on his roster. Now, that would have been crazy if they would have cut him and he didn't make the roster, right? You're going to trade for a guy, but he doesn't make your team. Doesn't make any sense. So pretty much, of course, John Mechie is going to be on his roster. So let's get into it. Welcome in quick hitters. Welcome in G.Mo Short Crew. All right, we're sitting on Weary Wednesday. Some people call it Hump Day, but it is the middle of the week. Philadelphia Eagles' biggest move. The additions of tackle Fred Johnson and quarterback Sam Howell bolster depth at a couple of key areas. Number 2 QB, Tanner McKee, has earned the trust of the organization, but he suffered a finger injury on his throwing hand late in training camp. Rookie Kyle McCord isn't ready for NFL action quite yet, so the Eagles turn to Howell, who has 18 career starts under his belt with no one emerging at camp this summer. We all know how I feel about Tanner McKee, the backup for the Philadelphia Eagles. I've been on this guy past few seasons. Good young talent. And to be honest with you, I hate to see him go, and that's exactly what's going to happen at that backup role, meaning he's backing up Jalen Hurts. He's not going to get his opportunity in Philadelphia, backing up Jalen Hurts. Unless something crazy happens. I want to keep Tanner McKee, but within a couple more seasons, somebody's going to be calling for Tanner McKee. I'm going to hate to see this guy go. He's going to be a hell of a trading piece for some team who's looking for a quarterback. I'm surprised somebody really hasn't acquired for him yet. And they probably have behind the scenes. But Tanner McKee will be a hell of a quarterback with somebody's franchise. I love his height. He has a big arm, young, ready to flourish under somebody's offense. So I would hate to see him go if it comes to that in a couple of years. Tanner McKee. So let's check out the traded. Eagles traded offensive lineman Darian Kennard. They acquired offensive tackle Fred Johnson, quarterback Sam Howell. Which the Washington Commanders thought that Sam Howell was going to be the guy before Jaden Daniels got there. Changed everything up. But Sam Howell, he had his moments in Washington. I'm not going to call him trash. I think under the right system, a good quarterback's coach, you can get the best out of him. So I don't mind him joining the Eagles at all. Not at all. Now we're checking out the waived and released. Now, I don't know if I should call out all these guys. I might just call out a few of them. Or, because a lot of these guys, nobody knows. To be honest. I don't know any or most of these guys. Probably know 3 guys on this list that was cut or waived. But I don't know, man. Maybe we'll give them their moment. You probably won't hear these names ever again in football. So I might go ahead and just call them out real quick. Look, I might butcher some of these names. I'm gonna do my best, and we'll work it from there. Waived and released. Long snapper Charlie Houellette. He was waived and released. Outside linebacker Patrick Johnson. Tackle Kendall Lane, along. Wide receiver Terrace Marshall Jr. Cornerback Perry Nickerson. Wide receiver Avery Williams. Wide receiver Ife Adayi. Ife Adayi? Ife Adayi. Adiye. Whatever. Linebacker Chance Campbell. Cornerback Tariq Castro Fields. He's injured. Wide receiver Elijah Cooks. Linebacker Lance Dixon. Defensive tackle Joe Evans. Linebacker Dallas Gant was waived or released. Guard Kenyon Green. Safety Maxon Hook. Tight end E.J. Jenkins. Cornerback Brandon Johnson. Running back Montrell Johnson Jr., tight end Cameron Latu, offensive linebacker Ashawn Mathis, Ashawn, quarterback Kyle McCord, wide receiver Taylor Morin, tight end Nick Muse, tackle Holland Pierce, running back Sean Derek Powell, outside linebacker Atwan Powell Ryland Jr., cornerback Eli Ricks, defensive end Jareem Robinson, running back Kylan Robinson, either one of them. Defensive tackle Justin Rogers, safety Andre Sam, wide receiver Aeneas Smith. Defensive tackle Jacob Sykes, tackle Lakin Vakali. Cornerback A.J. Woods. That is the waived, released, or injured for the Philadelphia Eagles. Look, all these teams are still piecing it together. The job is not done. Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, along with Nick Sirianni, this is not done. They're going to continue to piece this together all the way through. And that's for all other teams. But Philadelphia Eagles building this roster up, getting ready for this run. Have no complaints on what's been added and what's been released. Like I say, all of these names here, I'm not going to know who these guys are. None of them. Let's continue to go down. I go to Washington Commanders. I try to do a slow roll just in case have fans of a lot of teams out there. So y'all can just check this out just on the fly. Quick peek. They go to Chicago Bears. And remember, all of this stuff is researchable. You can look this stuff up if you want to know about a specific team. If you want me to go over it real quick, just cash at me $2 and I'll go over your favorite team. I'm just joking, man. I'm just joking. It's actually $100. Cash at me $100 and I'll go over your team. Let me quit, man. Atlanta Falcons. Carolina Panthers. Make sure Bryce Young ain't on this list. No, nah, young man's going to get it together this season coming in. He better. They're going to start losing faith in him like a coach losing faith in Richardson over there. So he has to get it together. Taysom Hill, reserve of physically unable to play. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Watch out for them. You got Baker Mayfield over there running this show and looking damn good. Never thought he would pave out into the quarterback he's becoming right now. We'll find out for sure this season coming in if last year was a fluke. Don't expect it. I don't expect it. I think he'll come through. Man found his place with the Bucs. Los Angeles Rams coming up. I mean, they just be throwing players on the team during camp, boy. When you have to waive and release all these players, they had like 90, something like that. Damn, they're close to 100. Got to cut it down to 53. The Seahawks released Marquez Valdez-Scantling after they couldn't find someone to trade for the veteran wideout, and the $2.5 million that remains on his one-year contract. From a financial standpoint, that had to be a tough move to make since he's guaranteed another $1.5 million on top of his $1.5 million signing bonus. You gotta eat it, man. Some of these teams just gotta eat it. It's not too bad. The only way that's bad is when you already a multi-millionaire. You've been in the league so long, you already done made your money. Which Marquez Valdez-Scantling, he's been in the league a little bit. I mean, I remember him with the Green Bay Packers, so, he didn't cut plenty checks. That's not a bad release. I mean, that release is going to turn into a quick deposit. As fast as he can get his gym bag in the car, headed straight to the bank. That's not bad at all. What we would call that is a handsome ransom. Oh, there's Buffalo Bills. Check out the waiver released. Miami Dolphins. New England Patriots with their new head coach over there, wishing him the best. Coming from the Titans. Always been a fan of Mike Vrabel. So yeah, I'm wishing him the best over there. Hope he can get them back to their winning ways. Not Super Bowl ways. Okay, not Super Bowl ways, but winning ways. All right? New York Jets. I'm definitely rooting for the New York Jets. Reason why? Aaron Glenn is over there. Big fan of Aaron Glenn, even when he was an Aggie. All right, for Texas A&M, used to watch Aaron Glenn play. Big fan of Aaron Glenn. I'm not that old, folks, okay? I know it sounds like it, all right? I'm still at a good, tender age, all right? At least I'm not wrinkled yet. Not wrinkled yet. But yes, Aaron Glenn, man, much respect. He's going to jolt something to that team. He's bringing culture. He's bringing accountability. He's bringing fire, enthusiasm. He's got that same, that build as a D'Amico Ryans. He just has a little more fire and a dead-in-your-face approach. Cincinnati Bengals, they better build it up right. Build it up right. They have to come out and make a splash. You would have never thought the Cincinnati Bengals would have came in last year and did what they did. You talk about a slow start. Never picked it up. Big season for Joe Burrow. Big season for Jamar Chase. This big season for this team in general. They're hungry. I've been listening to Joe Burrow a couple of interviews, and I'm telling you, they're looking forward to this season, him and Jamar Chase. They know they underperformed last season. They know they underperformed. So expect them coming out of the gate. Do you hear me? This season coming out of the gate. Let's see. Cleveland Browns. Oh, Cleveland Browns. I guess I'll stop here for a minute. Oh, Cleveland. The misfits. Okay? We always talk about the misfits. This franchise here, man. Every time you go by them or talk about them or just see it, makes you rub your forehead and get into a slump position. Just don't know what they're doing over there, man. I don't. And I'm not just meaning this year. I mean, since they were born. You know what I'm saying? Since this franchise was born, what are they doing over there? And folks, this don't have anything to do with Shedeur Sanders, is what I'm talking about. This just been breaded for too long. The biggest move is the Browns on Monday traded quarterback Kenny Pickett to the Raiders for a 2026 fifth-round pick. Pickett was the first signal caller whom Cleveland acquired in the offseason as it reshaped the position room. But a hamstring injury put him out of consideration for QB1. The move clears the path for the Browns to evaluate rookies Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders at some point this season. So, Kenny Pickett was traded. They acquired offensive tackle KT Levinston. And we're for sure not going to go over the waived and released. The Cleveland Browns are not that important to go over waived and released, folks. That will be Cash App $200. You want me to go over that one? Just joking. All right. Quarterback Deshaun Watson. We ain't going to go over this, are we? Huh? We ain't going to go over this name right here. They're going to have to figure something out with this one right here. That was one of the biggest mistakes of franchise history on this one here. Yeah. And we talked about Russell Wilson the other day about falling from grace. This here has to be the ultimate fall from grace right here. So much so, they might have to make a documentary on this guy right here. Before it's over with, they need to get him a Netflix special. No doubt about it. Pittsburgh Steelers. Which I was hoping Shedeur Sanders could have joined them. Do you know what would have been a wonderful, wonderful situation for Shedeur Sanders is what I was hoping. Even with Aaron Rodgers at the helm. Shedeur Sanders goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. If they would have just drafted him. If all this bullcrap wasn't involved. Do you understand Shedeur Sanders going to the Pittsburgh Steelers as a backup where Mike Tomlin is the head coach and this organization just as good as the Eagles? When you have these smart, brilliant people in the front office You have leadership, accountability on this team, no nonsense, and you have a veteran quarterback like a Aaron Rodgers starting with Shadur Sanders underneath him throughout the whole season, you couldn't trim nothing better in gold than that. You couldn't. The value he would have received being with the Aaron Rodgers in practice, in training camp, throughout the season, the value would have been $2,000. It'd have been $2,000. It'd have been a perfect position for him. Back up all season long with no intentions of starting, just learning. And when Rodgers would have retired, which, this is last season, I'm guessing, I'm pretty sure, Shadur Sanders would have soaked up all the knowledge he needs to come in next season for the Pittsburgh Steelers as the starter, beginning his career. That situation was right in place. But like I say, if it weren't for other things taking effect, maybe. Oh, look at here. Look like we're getting to exactly where we need to be. AFC South Houston Texans, right? Huh? Y'all excited about this one? We ain't gonna keep it too long. I might go through the whole waived and released on this one. I will say that. The biggest move is a running back situation with Joe Mixon. Now that took everybody by storm. Went on the non-football injury list with an ankle injury. Mixon was a Pro Bowler in 2024 for the Texans. Now Houston is without its star back, and there is no clear indication how long he will be out. Mixon's camp and the Texans have been very quiet about his health and a potential return. Yes, they have. And can you blame them at some point? But I tell you what, they knew all this all along. They strung us along. They did that. Because they had us believing that, Joe Mixon had a little ankle injury, but it was something that they were just trying to, let heal, give him a little time, take preseason off, but he's going to be there for week 1. That's what everybody was thinking. He's fine. They just want him fresh for week 1. Come to find out, the injury was much greater than that. Maybe they threw the wool over our eyes. I don't know, but this guy is not going to be ready. They say at least until week 4 or week 5. But here's the kicker. Now, I'm not saying no sources or nothing like that, but I did hear some whispers. It could have been on another show. It could have been on a ticker. It could have been, I don't know. I just heard the possibility. All I'm saying, I'm not going to guarantee anything, but just take it like this. If Joe Mixon is out for the whole entire 2025-26 season, all I'm saying, just don't be surprised. Don't be shocked. Know it sounds crazy right now, but if he is out the whole entire season, do not be surprised. This ankle injury might be a bigger problem than what we think. They're acting like it's about to fall off his leg. We don't know because they're not coming off of anything. They kept this nice, tight-lipped quiet. So you really don't know none of the details really with Joe Mixon. All you know now is at least week 4. My thoughts on it? Houston Texans are not winning no Super Bowl without Joe Mixon. I'm going to tell you that. Some people believe they're not going to win a Super Bowl with Joe Mixon. But I'm going to tell you one thing. They ain't going to have a close shot in hell if he's not there. Now, do I have faith in the backups that they have? To some degree as a committee. They can plug and play. Plug and play, make some hay is what I like to say. Plug and play, make some hay along the way. But is it going to be dominating enough for other teams to respect it? No, I don't think so. Will Nick Chubb hold up? That's going to be a concern. Yeah, last little week in training camp or whatever, he looked real good. He was running hard. Preseason game came in, he gave us some tough yards. Looked like a little flash of himself, just a little bit with the Cleveland Browns. But can that hold up? Because I'm going to tell you right now, something happened to him. Teams already not going to respect Nick Chubb coming out of the gate anyway. You know, coming off that injury, look, sometimes it takes a while. But they're not going to believe he could just start running this ball like crazy. Then nobody's believing that. They want to see it before they respect that. And they're going to be leaning on him just to make sure he's healthy. So it's going to be by committee, at least to week 4 or 5. But God forbid if we don't see Mixon at all this season. Look, I'm not making no guarantees. I'm not even saying that that's going to happen. Probably not going to happen. I'm just saying I've heard that from somewhere. Just don't be surprised if it happens. That's all I'm saying. Prepare your mind for it. Now, if it's a team that can overcome it, it would be the Houston Texans because of the defense, of course. We always talk about the defense. So that's going to keep them in a lot of ball games. But it will come down to you're going to have to produce some points on offense. You're going to have some balance. You got to keep these teams at bay. You're going to have to keep that blitz package from coming down on C.J. Stroud. We still trying to figure out if this offensive line going to be good or not. Nobody knows. Yes, they moved some pieces around. They added some stuff. But is it going to hold? Have they been put to the test yet? No, because the regular season is coming up. That's when they get put to the test. So if this offensive line looks anything like last season without a running game, my. Johnny Gill, my. You don't want to see that. I don't want to see it. So I'm hoping they get that together. Let's get through this waived and release real quick. We don't want to keep it too long. Weary Wednesday, of course. Wide receiver, Quintez Cephas. We kind of knew he was going to be gone. Quarterback, Cutdown Slovis. Is it Cutdown or Keydon? I don't know. Slovis. We'll just call him Slovis. He ain't that damn good to be getting his name right. Safety, Miles Bryant. Linebacker, Nick Neiman. Cornerback, Damon Arnett. Tight end, Luke Lachey. Fullback, Jacob Johnson. Linebacker, Jackson Woodard. Linebacker, Casey Asai. Long snapper, Blake Ferguson. Defensive end, Solomon Byrd. Defensive tackle, Junior Tafuna. Center, Eli Cox. Offensive tackle, Connor McDermott. Offensive guard, Ladarius Henderson. Wide receiver, Daniel Jackson. Defensive end, Casey Toohill. Offensive tackle, Trent Brown. Cornerback, D'Angelo Ross. Running back, J.J. Taylor. Cornerback, Arthur Mollett. Tight end, Dalton Keene. Safety, Jalen Mills. Tight end, Harrison Bryant. Safety, Russ Yeast. Jahar Jordan. Defensive tackle, Haggai Nabusi. I apologize for it, okay? Sir, I apologize for any of these names that I butchered. My apologies, okay? Offensive tackle, Jalen Thomas. Offensive tackle, Zach Thomas. Reserved, suspended, IR, wide receiver, Cornell Powell. PUP list, wide receiver, Tank Dell, which we already know that. NFI, cornerback, Elijah Huzzy. NFI, if people not knowing, that's a non-football injury. Because I know some of these abbreviations, man, you're like, what? What is that? But yes, non-football injury for cornerback Elijah Huzzy. Same thing, NFI, running back Joe Mixon. We already discussed that. IR. Tight end Irv Smith Jr. PUP list, DT Kurt Hennish. Another PUP list, Danico Autry. Safety Jalen Reed, designated to return. So there you have it for the Houston Texans. Building this roster. Wish they can be at full strength, but that's not reality in football. It's not reality in sports, period. You just have to roll with it until you can get your guys back. Always a next man up mentality, and this team here, like I say, if any team can counteract injuries, it will be this team here. So let's stroll this through real quick so we can get out of here. Indianapolis Colts, that's a good stroll there. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Look at it quick. Look at it strong. Focus in, because I'm not going to be stopping. Tennessee Titans. Denver Broncos. Kansas City Chiefs. Las Vegas
Raiders. The Raiders.
Los Angeles Chargers. And that should be it. Yeah, that should be it. Y'all enjoy y'all weird Wednesday. I gotta get out of here. G.S.Q.H, Goodymo Sports Quick Hits. Thanks for y'all time. Cut lists are out. Teams are still building. Nothing's finalized yet. At least till week 1. So y'all enjoy yourselves and be safe. I'm out of here. Peace.